A big hello to all my YouTube friends. I am so happy to catch you up with another exciting video. Today I am going to explain an exciting topic. I don't say it is rare topic, but it is exciting. Trust me guys. Mainly if you are a CTF player, ethical hacker or penetration tester, you might familiar with this tool and they often use this tool. Let me break the suspense. I am going to explain Nmap, network mapper. I can catch your mind voice. There are plenty of video resources that teach you Nmap, but I'll try to make this video little different from others. Now, let me introduce the great Nmap tool to you. I'm using Kali Linux distribution in my virtual box. In Kali Linux, the Nmap is by default installed, so you need not to install it by yourself. The first one, the Kali terminal, the best practices, updating the reference. Whenever you load your Linux instance, starts with this step. It's done. By the way, before beginning, let me tell you what is Nmap. Nmap, it's a great tool to scan your network for a hosts and the resources, the services available on those hosts. This tool became insanely popular because of its flexibility. So you will get to know why it is popular in few moments. In order to throw your nmap, the command is nmap, and if you have no idea what command you should use, then you can get some help by entering the flag -h, a basic Linux flag. Now, when I scroll upwards, I can see a lot of options here to use. They categorized those options. You need to use these flags for a host discovery in your network. Suppose, let me give a scenario. You are having a network, but you have no idea what are all the alive available hosts in that network. In such cases, you can use these flags along with your network entry. Okay, and then scan techniques. These are all some exciting techniques to learn. I'll explain few of the important techniques that you should know. I'll explain how the Nmap functions here in a moment, and then port specification and scan order. Here you can specify the particular port that you want to scan and also the mode you can choose. The fast mode. It will fasten your scanning, okay? And then service and version detection. Guys, this is a crazy feature of Nmap. The Nmap can also able to detect your operating system and what kind of service you are running and what is the version of the service even. And then you can script your scan. This is another brilliant feature that Nmap expose. And the OS detection, timing and performance. Generally Nmap takes a bit to perform a scan, but you can fasten those scan by using these commands. Okay, I mean these flags. And you may ask, if my target network has some firewalls, how the Nmap behaves? In that case, Nmap have an option to detect the firewall in between. Based on some results it identifies whether the firewall is present in that place or not. Okay. Apart from that, you can customize your output, whatever format. There are three formats you can write your output and some miscellaneous things. Okay. Now let's learn it in depth. Initially, let me start with host discovery because I don't have any IP, any target IP. So I'm just starting with host discovery in my network. In order to perform that, know your IP. I am in this network now. Now let's find if anyone alive in my network. So the command is simple. To find the host discovery, -h I am giving. Let's scroll little bit upper. Here in host discovery, simply list targets to scan, ping scan. So when you enter this flag -sn, it pings all the hosts in your network and it will find whether they are available or not. Okay. And the second case, you can see this as well, -pn, caps P and small n. And this flag indicates treat all host as online. It means it simply ignores the ICMP scan. If you are a network engineer, you might familiar with this. Mostly we don't use ICMP in our network for security reasons. So in such cases, you can use this flag to detect your hosts. Okay. Now let's try these two, SN and PN, and let's see what happens in our network. Once again, my network is 10.110/24. Here is the command -sn and my network 0/24, and I need to filter the unwanted results. I mean, I need to get only the list of alive hosts. So I can simply filter out the unwanted results by pushing all those unwanted results into dev null path. It's like a black hole. Here we go. Here you can see the results. I can see there are 4 hosts alive in my network, and I'm here 10.117, and there are 3 hosts. One is my gateway, and apart from that I have a couple of alive hosts in my network. Okay, perfect. Now what happened when you used -n, it pinged all the hosts and it found what are all the hosts alive. Why don't we use hyphen caps pn? It won't use ping. Instead, it uses TCP handshakes. Okay. Now here we are with the results. The previous scan I initiated was testing my patience, hence I reinitiated it with specific hosts. As we found the host from our previous results, I just got the output here. When I scan by ignoring the ping, I can get what are all the ports that are opened in my target hosts. The results here. It gives the port number and the protocol, the state. It can be open or it can be closed, or sometimes it can be filtered. I'll explain you the scenario later. And these are all the service open in this host. I'm running a web server. I believe this is the web server that I'm running. Let's see. Let me introduce few other interesting commands to you. We can also filter for specific ports. Let's do that. I'm simply modifying the flags here. I'm just looking for port 80. Here we go. It gives the details of each host that opened with port 80. Here the state is closed. If you want to see the port based results, then use the flag -p simply and the port number. Now we have seen how to detect opened ports in your network hosts. Let's move into the more interesting topic. Apart from knowing the opened ports, as a penetration tester, it is absolutely important to know the services that are running on every port. To understand that, you need to understand what is daemon. Daemon is a piece of software that is running on your target machine or a server maybe. Let's assume this is our target server, my target, and I am here with my attacking machine. Before you throw nmap request from your attacking machine, first of all, your server must be listening on some ports. It may be standard ports or some non-standard ports. Ports are literally like holes in your system or a network. It allows you to pass some traffic through it. Okay. So what happens when, for example, let's take the server is running a web service in that. In that case, it has to run some daemon. For example, a piece of software. Um, it may be some well-known web servers like Apache, Nginx, or Microsoft IIS, whatever. These are all the examples for daemon. Hope I spelled it correctly. Okay. So basically the daemons listen on particular port. In this case, assume my web server is listening on standard port 80. So we can say my daemon is listening on port 80. I mean, my daemons like Apache, Nginx, IIS learning on port 80. We found what are all the ports opened in our target, but we didn't find what are all the service running on those ports. So in order to find that, Nmap uses a technique called banner detection. Basically, what happens when you send a probe from Nmap? Basically, it's port 80, right? It's a TCP port. So the basic is three-way handshake. So my Nmap installed device simply sends a sync packet to my destination, and the target sends acknowledgement and its own sync. For that, my host responds with acknowledgement, and then the server responds back with its banner. Banner is nothing but some information about the service which is running on our port. Okay, once it grabs the banner, the host literally terminates the connection. It simply sends the reset flag to the target. Some of your target may not respond their banner to you. In such cases, the Nmap sends some random probes to your target, and it listens how your target behaves to those probes. Based on that, it will decide what is the service running on that port. Now let me quickly show you how to grab version and the application info from your target. I may need sudo privilege to do this, hence I am giving sudo. Then I am using a flag -s capital V to probe the version, and then my network. Here I am going to give my networks, here I'm going to give my target server. I know I'm running a web server on this IP 10115. Hence, I'm probing this simply. Perfect. Now the scan initiated. Let's wait for the output. Now here we are. We received the output. Earlier there were 3 columns up to service. Now an additional column added. It shows the version. Actually, I'm running the web service on Apache Web Server, which is the web daemon, which is listening on port 80, and the version is 2.4.38. Did you notice another interesting thing? It also detected the operating system on which it is running. It's a Debian operating system. It exactly detected. And then and then this target is running few other services. 139 Samba, the file sharing service for Linux, and also 445 running the same service, and the version is, it is within the range. When Nmap doesn't guess the version exactly, it will give you an approximate result. Otherwise, it will confess it couldn't able to detect the version. So it's a great tool indeed. Perfect. It also grabbed the host name, which is really interesting. It almost took 12 seconds alone. It's not too long. Now let me show you how to detect the operating system of your target. I'll just give the command. Let's run the nmap scan now. I'll explain the theory behind that very soon. Okay. Sudo nmap hyphen capital O. That is what the flag is. And my target. Simple enough. That's it. Here we are. It gave the usual results. Also, it gives the operating system. Here are the details. It gives the approximate version details. You may wonder how Nmap managed to fetch the operating system details. Let me explain that, which is very interesting to learn. And the concept is used to fetch the operating system is called fingerprinting. OS fingerprinting. Perfect. Now you need to grab the operating system information from your server. What Nmap generally does. Nmap simply sends some probe request when you are using the -o flag. It simply sends some probe request. Server processes those probes and responds some other uh, pattern of probes. Okay, so client collects all those probe information and it creates the database with the collected information from your target. And in order to find the operating system, it has to refer this database with another database which Nmap keeps. This database contains the list of operating systems and its pattern of probe responses. It simply compares these databases and comes to the conclusion or maybe some approximate results. Then it displays the results to us. So everything that I told is just happening in fraction of seconds. It almost happened in 2.2.5 seconds. Awesome, isn't it? By seeing this result, you may ask a question. Perumal, here you gave only the -o flag, but apart from this operating system details, why did we receive the port details also? Your question is absolutely valid. I'll explain you. If you use nmap, simply if you give the command nmap and your target IP, By default, Nmap uses the smallest capital S flag, which means stealth scan. I'll tell you what is stealth scan, and also you need to know about the flag -s t, the whole TCP scan. There is a major difference between this stealth scan and TCP scan. Let me explain that to you. Just assume the same client and server. I'm just using the same. When you are doing a stealth scan, a client will send the sync packet. For that, the server responds with sync and acknowledgement packet. When the client, the Nmap installed client, finds the acknowledgement response from the server, it decides that particular port is opened in the server and it simply abort that connection, sends the reset packet. Now the three-way handshake has not completed. It's partially completed, and before completing the TCP handshake, the client resetted that connection. Hence, it is called stealth scan. I'll tell you an example. If the TCP scan completed, then it means the connection is established between the client and server. So, the system admin at your target network can able to view who established the connection with your server, with your target. So in that case, there are more possibilities to expose your identity. So to prevent that, you can use hyphen small s capital S to perform the stealth scan. By default, Nmap runs the stealth scan only. That is how you received these outputs. And then I didn't explain about the TCP scan, which is simple. When you use the -st, the TCP scan, it finishes the three-way handshake completely, then only it sends the reset flag. So the target, the administrator of your target will be having the entire data of you. So which is why we prefer to use this one. But when you want to grab the banner, I mean when you want to know the operating system and the version detail of your target, there is no other way. You have to complete the three-way handshake. It is not stealthy, but it is very useful to know the version of your target. And one more important thing, if your target network is using any powerful next generation firewalls or updated IDS IPS, then they can able to view the stealth scan that you are running. You no longer safe against those devices. Perfect. Okay, now let me introduce another incredible feature of Nmap, NSE, Nmap Scripting Engine. Nmap also allows its users to write their own scripts and customize the Nmap scan. Nmap also gives its default script. Let me use the script to showcase. In order to call the Nmap's default script, you have to use the flag -s capital C. Here we got the results. You can see how insane the Nmap scripts are. It gives the complete details that you want. It gives the each service except the version. For version, you can add the -sv here, and then the operating system and the service and its version is simply excellent to use. So far, we have discussed only about the flags, the options, the Nmap scan types that we can use. Apart from that, we can also customize our input. I just gave single IP address here. Apart from that, like we did earlier, you may use, let me about this. Yeah, apart from this single IP, you may use subnet as we give earlier. Also, you can give hosts in few other formats. If you know the range of hosts, then you can mention the first host and hyphen and the last octet of the last host. You can also run your scan like this, and if you know two different IPs, then you can separate those host IP, then you can separate those IP addresses with the comma, and you can give like this. Okay, you may ask, if we have few hosts, then we can use these methods. What if we have bunch of IP addresses and bunch of domains? In such cases, you can call a file in nmap command, and you can make sure all the domains and IP addresses are present in that file. In that case, so that nmap can able to reach the file and able to fetch the details from that file. For that, you have to use the flag called -i capital L. This is what used to call a file. Here you need to mention the file name. Okay, before doing that, let's create a file using nano command, and I'm going to create one file called nmap.txt. In that file, I'm going to add my host that I want to scan. Perfect. Now we can use this nmap.txt. Alright, now we got the results for the scan. The nmap simply read the file and it scanned for the host that I mentioned in the file. Okay, before winding up, let me introduce the nmap. Let's walk through the nmap website. I'm in the official site of nmap. When you go by clicking this, you can download the nmap. But the beauty of nmap is it is compatible with all three popular operating systems: Linux, Mac OS, and Windows operating system. And also, you can click this reference guide, books, and docs to know more about the nmap. I explained briefly about the nmap scripting engine, right? So here you can learn more about the nmap scripting engine. Nmap scripting engine is one of the nmap's most powerful and flexible features. It allows the users to write and simple scripts. So you can write your own scripts, and the programming language is Lua programming language. This is what used in nmap scripting engine. And the next thing is, these are all some references. You can check out and you can buy this book. The nmap documentation is available in various languages. You can download the language that you want. The nmap network scanning book, more than half of the book is available free online. You can just walk through this by clicking the link simply. I'll put the nmap link in the description. You can go through this. When I am in the nmap reference guide, it gives the detailed information, the detailed learning about this one. Let's see the OS detection, the fingerprinting. They explained the OS detection in detail. Service and version detection. Perfect. And one more thing, if you don't know on which device, on which target you want to test the nmap scan, you can use scanme.nmap.org. This website is exclusively designed for scanning practice by using Nmap. Service is provided by Nmap Security Scanner project. We set up this machine to help folks to learn about the Nmap. So use this feature. Don't try this Nmap on any other resources, any other systems without their permission. It will be considered as offense. So don't do that. It's a disclaimer. Okay. Yeah, that's all I've got. I delivered everything that I had. Hope you really enjoyed this session. If you really did, hit the like button. Consider subscribing my channel for more interesting videos. I'll catch you up with another exciting video in future. Thank you guys. See you soon.